Okay, I need somebody to be grammarian.
What'd you say?
I need somebody to be grammarian.
Yes, sir.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
You're speaking. I need somebody to be grammarian. What are you doing, Leonard? You're doing evaluating. All right. I need you to be grammarian or counter.
Can you do that, sir?
I'll call him.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
I'll do the outcome. No grammar. Grammar school. No school today.
It's the same thing, Leonard. If you can do one, you can do the other. All right, the timer is who? Antoinette, we got that one covered. Okay. All right. How many of these new members were not here when we did the induction?
Raise your hand.
I wasn't here.
All right. Does anybody know? Does anybody have possession of the membership information? Since Ajana's out, because she has the pins, the induction stuff, and all of that. She has the pins she has the pins for the new members. We can do the induction, but I don't have the pins.
Who's wearing a pin that was shared?
No, I want them to have their own pins. No, you can't say that.
I've given 100 of them away, so that's why I don't have one on today.
We got plenty of pins. We've got about 16
Okay,
of them.
I want 3 of them, and I'll wear them on my coats and jackets. And I'll
All right, we'll do the induction the first, since
Next
John
week.
was not here.
next week.
We'll do the induction next week because we got to do the installation of the new office anyway. Okay. All right, moving on. Who's going to be the grammarian? I need somebody to find a word.
Lucid, L-U-C-I-D. Clear.
Who's going to do the word today?
Lucid.
Who's found a word today?
Lucid, L-U-C-I-D, means clear, to the point, direct.
Okay,
Fill with tongue.
okay, wait. You got to come up here and do the word today if you're going to do it. All right, hold on. I got to introduce myself as Toastmaster. Hold on. Now, our Toastmaster of today, oh, wait a minute, Charlie just walked in. He needs a roll.
Come on down, Charlie. Let him do the word today. Come on down, Charlie. Hey.
All right, Charlie, you want to be grammarian?
Come on down. L-U-C-I-D, clear, to the point.
Charlie's going to be grammarian.
We're ready for grammarian?
No. No, I said I was giving you a roll.
You can stand down over her. She won't bite you but twice.
Okay, now I'm introducing myself as Toastmaster. Toastmaster of the day is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Joyce Biddle, who also serves as VPE of our club. All right, today we don't have a theme because I just found out I was Toastmaster. But the theme will be, think on your feet. Think on your feet, because we're all doing this at the last minute. Think on your feet is today's thing. Now, moving on, our grammarian today is none other than Toastmaster Charlie Simpson. Yay! Yeah!
I apologize for my tardiness, but I am always prepared. The word for today, winsome, W-I-N-S-O-M-E, which is an adjective meaning sweetly or innocently charming, winning, engaging. Mr. Duncan is a very winsome-like fellow. Would be an example. No, W-I-N, winsome. Like you win in some games.
Okay.
Thank you. That's my grammarian report. Not report, but word for today.
All right. Did you know your visitor tag was up there? Winsome. We're going to be winsome today. All right. Our Toastmaster minute will be given by none other than almost distinguished Toastmaster. We got to help her to get those 4 members at that club she's coach of.
Down.
What's the name of the club?
St. Vincent Sherwood.
St. Vincent Sherwood.
I need 4 members.
She needs 4 members so the club will be distinguished.
Yeah.
So she can have, that's the last thing she needs to be a distinguished Toastmaster. So Toastmaster minute by Antoinette Mitchell.
Appreciate this. The 1 minute of today is how do you become a distinguished Toastmaster? You make one speech at a time. There are 12 months beginning now until the next year. Will you put in your goals to speak 1 time per month? Twice a month will give you 24 speeches. I'm trying to get you to your competent communicator. 1 speech per month, bam, we got our CC already done. 2 speeches per month, bam, you got 24 speeches. You are ready to go to 2 advanced manuals. In the advanced manual, there are 5 speeches per manual. To go to your AC, your advanced, competent, silver, you will need 10 speeches, 2 manuals, 5 speeches per manual when you hit advanced. Are you ready to make your commitment to 1 speech per month for your CC, 2 speeches per month for your advance? Anybody ready? Raise your hand.
Hey, y'all go.
I need everybody raising their hand. We got to follow the leader now. Follow the leaders. Follow the DCM leaders. I am ready. I am going to redo this again. I'm going to keep doing it. And guess what? All of the new members, I may join you. Starting next month, I want to finish my CC. Are you going to beat me?
Yes,
The challenge is on. Let's go, new members. You may even get a prize if you beat me, okay? All righty. This is your Toastmaster Minute. Welcome back to the podium, our DPE. Yes, yes.
All right. Now, this is my favorite part of the meeting, the table topics. You know why? Because you have to think on your feet and not on your seat. All right. Our table topic leader today is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Adrian Duncan.
Hey, there we go. All right, win some. We're going to win some today. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Win some. Everyone should be charming and sweet and delightful. That's the way to keep members moving on up. Since you're at the opportunity of moving on up, Toastmaster Middle, distinguished Toastmaster, look at the room and tell me 2 or 3 people that are not on the agenda today. Not on the agenda yet at this moment.
Well,
Who?
all the new members except Luther. Well, Shauna?
Shauna, okay, hang on. Shauna, I have a question for you. There is one thing that you need to do this week that's out of the ordinary for your job, for personal, or for family. THINK. Stand up and tell us for 2 minutes something that you need to do for your work, your home, your family, or personal this week. Tell us specifically for 2 minutes. Timer, 2 minutes. Toastmaster Shauna, give her a big hand. Come on down. Come on down. Go right ahead. Thank you. Toastmaster Shauna, she's ready to go. Give her a big hand. She will win some with her personality.
Hi.
Hello.
What I need to do this week is for my family. I need to go grocery shopping. We have some milk and eggs in the refrigerator right now, and I think there's some bread on the counter. So I need to totally shop for my husband and I, get groceries. He's tired of eating out this week, so I need to cook a nice home-cooked meal for him.
Tell me how many items, or what items would you pick up at the grocery store? What are some of the items, like several
Okay.
items that you pick up,
Yes.
possibly cook for this week?
I need to get, actually I do have some chicken in the refrigerator because that was the last thing we had in the freezer. So I need to get some meat items. I need to get some starches. I need to get some vegetables and some fresh fruit. I need to get some sweet beverages, some type of Kool-Aid or sodas. I think that would make him very happy so that he will not have to eat another meal out. We ate out all weekend because I didn't cook.
Tell me the 2 or 3 meats that you'd like to have, and 2 or 3 vegetables you'd like to have, and 2 or 3 sweets or something to cut the grease. What items would you buy or purchase?
The meat items I would purchase would be ground beef, ground turkey, probably steak, and chicken, more chicken. He loves chicken, or pork chops. And then the starches would be potatoes and rice. And the beverages would be, he likes soda. I'm trying to stay away from soda. And for dessert, he likes honey buns, which I don't like very much at all. But he loves them. So, thank you.
Give her a big hand, y'all. Oh, quite an honor. Win some. Wonderful, Shauna. That's wonderful. Can we say thank you very much? Shauna. Now, Miss Lucy and Shauna and the new Toastmasters, the thing that we'll do as protocol is always come up and shake the hand when you leave or before you leave. That will give the podium coverage. In other words, never leave the podium unattended. And this is a learning process, and we're a small family, but one of the best families you'll ever meet. When you go to visit other Toastmasters, and please consider doing that, visit other Toastmasters, their club and their protocol, opening, body, and closing, these are the basics still continue. Do we have someone else, Miss Toastmaster Distinguished Biddle? Do we have another person in the room that would consider? Who?
Our guest,
Who?
Sean Parks, is ready to
Go! Come on down. Shine. Oh, Mr. Parks. I met Mr. Parks. Come on down. Toastmaster Parks, come on down. I met him. Come on down, Mr. Parks. Come on down, Mr. Parks.
Don't too excited. Jerome is going to do
Come on down. Win some. You're going to win some. Come on down. Toastmaster Jerome? Yes. All right. Toastmaster Jerome. He's going to tell us something. H-E-A-R-T.
H-E-A-R-T.
H-E-A-R-T is your heart.
Right.
Now, there's something in this young man's heart that no one has seen yet. He's one of those that will always step up to the plate and do something out of the ordinary, extraordinary, because he's an extraordinary person. Would you tell us what you'd be willing to do? Step up to the plate and tell us about what's in your heart? Stepping up to the plate.
Yes. I'm going to step up to the plate. And what's in my heart this week is immunization.
Wow.
I used to be a member of Kiwanis Club, and for 12 years I was lost in the wilderness in the Middle East fighting for a war. You know the war. So today I have decided to return to my natural home, Kiwanis Club. Is anybody familiar with Kiwanis Club?
No, tell us.
So let me tell you what it's all about. Yes. These are kind people who operate out of their hearts. They want to help disadvantaged people, especially across the world, provide vaccines, prevent. One thing that I love about Kiwanis Club is preventing paralytic polio. You probably have heard of India, Pakistan, northern Nigeria, northeast Nigeria, where they still kill women for having daughters. I know, yes, very frightening. And can you imagine how a family is being killed because they have a child who has polio? See, paralytic polio causes you to lose functions of your lower limbs especially, so you drag yourself wherever you go and you're down in the dirt. So for a kind-hearted person like me, I think I need to reconnect to say, hey, we all belong to this large family. We want to help the large family being South America. See, we don't have polio anymore in America. You all know that, right? So we're very fortunate. But what if you took a trip and you're so excited with your husband, like Shauna said, you get a bunch of money from your lump sum that's coming up and you want to go to some part of the world, and boom, you want to bring back polio? I don't think so. So out of the kindness of my heart, I'm going to reconnect and we're going to start doing some good things. I know Joyce looking at me like, what good things you want to do? Let me tell you one thing. At least we could tell the next person and tell the next visitor to say, hey, I'm with you. I'm an epidemiologist. We know how to interrupt or control control disease transmission. So that's the kindness of my heart. Like we always say, but one of my professors told me, immunize, not isolate.
Good job. Good job. Give me a hand. Thank you, Toastmaster Jerome. Yes, sir. Good job. Go right ahead. Those of you that don't know, that's what Toastmasters is all about. You can see it. When he becomes a DTM, he'll be one of the best and most advocates for those people with immunization. You agree? I believe we've had about enough time. Let me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Distinguished Toastmaster Biddle. Come on down, Toastmaster Biddle. Excellent. Excellent presentation. Come on down. She'll win some.
Thank you.
Win some.
All right, we're now to our prepared speeches of the day. Our first speaker is going to be Toastmaster David Brudney, as he does an interpretive reading, interpreting poetry. His project title is Two Poems. Two Poems.
Come on down. Hey, win some.
David Brudney.
When was the last time you heard a really good poem? In the next few minutes, you'll be hearing two poems. And when you hear each of these poems, I'd like you to think about this question. What is the point? Think about that, because I think each of these poems has something that we can take away of value. The first poem is from an anonymous author and is called The Way. When you find the way, others will find you. Passing by on the road, they'll be drawn to your door. The way that cannot be heard will be echoed through your voice. The way that cannot be seen will be reflected in your eyes. When you hear that poem, what does it mean to you? What do you think, Deshaun? Put you on the spot here since you missed out on the table topics. Anything, just a point or anything that jogs your mind or anything. Absolutely. And I think about, that's right, and I think about finding our passion, the transfer of enthusiasm. When we're enthusiastic about something, we transfer that to others. And I think about 7 years ago, I was unemployed, and I got a job because I went to the St. Vincent Toastmasters down the street. And I met a guest of the club who connected me with a job here. And since then, I've gotten promoted twice. I'm now going to the College of Public Health on a scholarship here. And Toastmasters has done so much for me, so I'm so enthusiastic about sharing it with others. And I feel like when we did the recruiting event a few weeks ago, it was echoing in my voice, and I think it was reflecting in my eyes, the energy. So I think the point of that poem is to find our passion. Find our, say it with me, passion. Find our passion. So that's the first poem. Now let's move on to the next poem, which is called The Cookie Thief by Valerie Cox. A woman was waiting at an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shops, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man sitting beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag in between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. So she munched the cookies and watched the clock. As she watched, the gutsy cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I'd blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he'd do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, "Oh, brother, this guy has some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude." She had never known when she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed to the gate, refusing to look back at that thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat, and then sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her baggage, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. "If mine are here," she moaned with despair, "the others were his, and he tried to share." Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. So what is the point of that poem? What do you think the point is?
Sometimes we overreact. We don't have the full story. We're ready to take offense about things. What's going on.
Absolutely. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions. And I was thinking the other day, I was watching Britain's Got Talent on YouTube. Remember Susan Boyle? 47-year-old woman who walked up on stage. Audience rolled her eyes. They could not believe this woman wants to be a professional singer, and they all laughed at her. But you know, after she performed, no one was laughing, and she won Guinness Book of World Records, the oldest artist to win #1 with a debut album in the US and the UK. So, incredible work. Don't jump to conclusions. So, from these poems, I invite you to remember to find your passion and don't jump to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dave. That was so interesting. Our next speaker is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Joyce Biddle, who will be coming from the professional speaker, the number 4, the professional seminar, which it says 20 to 40 minutes. Of course, I'm not going to be speaking now, because that would take up the whole time. But I'll try to stay within 15 minutes, of course, timer. If I get past 15 minutes, shut me down. What I'll be speaking on, the Arkansas Minority Barber and Beauty Shop Initiative. This will be a training seminar that we perform for the volunteers for this project. That's what I'll be talking about. What I'm doing now is I'm going to pass out copies of the survey that we use for this seminar, this volunteer training. You all are going to have to share. I don't have enough.
We can do that, Sharon. We can do that.
Okay. Now, let me get it down here. This is the volunteer training for the Barber and Beauty Shop Health Initiative. When we bring all our volunteers in here, when we do the big training for Pulaski County, we actually do this for several counties throughout the state each year. We do Pulaski County as the big one every year, but we also do two or three other counties that are red counties each year. When we do it for Pulaski County, we bring everybody, all the volunteers here to the ADH auditorium, and this is the training. We welcome them in, and we then have Dr. Michelle Smith do her welcome. And we decided this year to make it more streamlined. We videoed her doing her speech so we wouldn't have to have all this thing. This was started out and this video was started and all that, but we're not going to do that today. And then we have the HIPAA thing. And then Reginald Rogers, our attorney here, would go over HIPAA with everybody, and they would get their HIPAA form, they would fill out the indemnity form, and agree to be HIPAA compliant, and do the release forms and all that. We're not going to go over that today either. Now, our goals and objectives for our Arkansas Minority Barber Beauty Shop. We're going to screen for hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, and BMI. We want to educate our communities on the importance of proper diet, physical activity, recognizing the signs and symptoms of heart disease and stroke, and smoking cessation. We want to refer our high-risk individuals who are identified to screen to health care providers, wellness centers, or charitable clinics that offer free or low-cost health services. And then for smoking cessation, we want to refer them to the tobacco quit line. We're then going to do follow-up. We want to follow up on those individuals who were referred to our nurse referral system that we have with our program. She will follow up on all those people that are referred and see if they are keeping their appointment with the doctor or the wellness center to make sure if their numbers are going down and things like that. These are our participating sites here in Pulaski County. This is Arkansas College of Barbering, if y'all have never seen it, on Washington Avenue in North Little Rock. This is Arkansas College of Barbering on Rodney Parham and the one on Asher Avenue, Fresh and Tight, which was new this year. And then we had New Image on Guy Springs and New Tyler Bible College in North Little Rock. New Image is a Hispanic site. Then we have Eric's Barbershop, and it's totally a barbershop. I didn't realize that until this year, that it's totally man-centered. I didn't realize that until the captain told me. He said, because I didn't think about it, he said barbershop. He said it was high testosterone. Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, that's a Hispanic site as well. And Belvatex College on MLK. These are our coordinators. Chi Smith is the program coordinator. Patricia Miner is the nurse coordinator. And Rosa Hatch is our Hispanic coordinator. These were our team captains. LaTanya Bottom was at the Arkansas College of Barbering in North Little Rock. Shakia Jackson was at the Arkansas College of Barbering in Little Rock. Jonathan Aaron was at Eric's Barbershop. Rama McCoo was at Fresh and Tight Styles. Judy Rona was at New Image. Jerome was supposed to be at Belvatech, but he had a grandbaby that was being christened. So, but he was on the training picture. So anyway, his picture was there. We had to substitute him with Cheryl Alexander. Anyway, Michelle Smith was at New Tyler Barber College. Now, this is our clinic flow chart. Now, what would happen is when a participant came in, they would stop at the registration table first. And if you look at your form here, the first page is green. That's registration. Once they go to registration, then they go to blood pressures. They would get their blood pressure check, and then all of that form is filled out. That's the blue sheet. Then from that point, they would go to number 3, which is cholesterol and glucose. From that point, they go to stamp out smoking and heart disease and stroke. Then they went from 4 to 5, and then from 6, they do BMI, nutrition, and physical activity. And then from there, they go to number 7, which is counseling and medical referrals. And if anything was found to be high at 2, 3, and 6, number 7 would then fill that form out, fill out a referral form, and keep the yellow copy and give the white copy to the participant. Then, at that point, The red sheet, which is the last page, is the exit survey. And then that's when we would go through, because throughout the survey, there are questions in there where we're asking them specific things about health. And when they get to the exit survey, we ask them that questions again to see if they retain that information that we were trying to teach them. So, within the volunteer binders, we have their HIPAA agreement, the fact sheet on the Barber Beauty Shop. We have the protocols, and these are copies of a copy of the protocol. Every volunteer type has a different protocol. The captains have the captain protocol. Registration has registration protocol. Then there's the blood pressure protocol for number 2. And then at number 3, and so on. You have all the different protocols. Then all of the surveys the survey color codes is also in the binder, which is there's a different color for each station. As I said, there are 8 different stations. And then there are flags that would be put on the survey as the participants go through. There are flags put on their survey if they are found to be high risk for a certain thing. So if their blood pressure was found to be high, there would be a blue flag put on the survey. If their cholesterol was found to be high, a yellow flag would be put on the survey. Also, at the front, if they were found to have no insurance, an orange flag would be put on the survey, and they'd be referred to our navigators so that they could be given insurance, so they can have insurance. Other specific role information is also put in there. Then we also have a runner. Now I know y'all wonder, what's a runner? How many of y'all want to know what a runner is?
Tell us what it is.
Now, a runner is somebody that helps the captain. Now, the captain can't do everything. Now, if something happens and the captain needs something done at that site, the runner is there to help the captain out. If you need to go over here and fill in for one of the tables needs something, the runner runs over there and does that. The runner might have to run over to another site and pick up something. Because that happens a lot. Y'all be amazed. Sometimes we run out of glucose strips. Say North Little Rock runs out of glucose strips. New Tyler got some extras. You run over to New Tyler and get them. Then you come back. That happened. Now, one of the things I do want to impress upon you, when you come into and start, one of the very things that is very, very important is you got to make sure when the participants first get there and they get to registration, they have to sign their release forms. We cannot do anything for them without getting their permission first. And one of the things we tried to make sure they did this year is, because you know we're doing this at beauty and barbershops, and people trying to get their hair done. And one of the things they be trying to do is they might start this and they go, oh, it's time for my hair appointment. And then they try to take the form with them. Oh, no, we can't have that happen. Give us that form back. Because we lose a lot of forms that way. That's one of the things I noticed last year. So this year I was like, if we want to keep up with these forms, if they decide they got to leave, bring those forms back. Because I want to know what happened to those forms. And then the barber college that's over there in North Little Rock, it's next door to the Greyhound station. Some of those people that come in there are trying to get on that Greyhound bus. So you got to keep up with those people. In any case, it's a good idea to make sure you keep up with your participants. Know where they're going, what they're doing, and make sure they're going through the line and not skipping out on you. Anybody got any questions? No? I'm sure that's the question. Sean. Well, I don't have anything to do with the haircut part. That's on the barbershop people. Oh, I forgot one thing. Once they go through, when they come through, initially, when they're registered, they get a yellow bag. The yellow bag has little goodies in it. They also get, when they finish coming through the line, once they get to table 8, and they do the exit, we give them a lunch, a bottle of water, and a T-shirt. That's how we convince a lot of them to finish doing the line. You're not going to get your lunch if you don't finish. Yes, Jerome.
Can you take everybody's picture?
Oh, I forgot that. At registration, that's another thing they have to sign off on. We asked them, do you agree to have your picture taken? If they say yes, everything's cool. If they say no, we have to put a no photo ID thing on them, and they put that on. So if their picture if we happen to get them in a picture, we can't use that picture on any of our media. Yes, sir.
Are we meeting our goals, Joyce, in terms of the number of people we want to go through and participate?
Yes and no. Because some of our sites, our goal is say 50, and some of our sites, our goal is say 100. For most of our sites, we've reached our goal, but some of those sites will say this is 100. We haven't gotten to that 100 goal. But for the most part, for the overall goal, we're more or less there. And if y'all didn't know, when I wasn't here the other week and I went to, where'd I go? Boise, I did a presentation on our results from last year for this project. Any other questions? All right. Okay, now we're going to turn the meeting over to our general evaluator, none other than Toastmaster Leonard Mukasa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Joyce. Evaluation is this time to celebrate our development, at least for this past 1 hour. The main evaluation will focus on the 2 speeches given by our colleagues, Toastmaster distinguished Toastmaster Joyce Biddle, and our own Toastmaster Dave, who has just come back from some challenges, is alive and well and bouncing. We are so glad to have you back. The first speech by Dave was interpreting poetry, and the evaluation will be given by none other than distinguished Toastmaster Adrian Duncan.
Oh, Toastmaster!
Welcome.
Toastmaster Mukasa.
Yes, sir. You're most welcome.
Toastmasters and most welcome guests. One of the largest challenges for Dave Rudney is to do an interpretive reading. Technically, you are not supposed to look at your audience. You're supposed to do something like reading and interpreting that impression or expression. Dave did this with winsome personality. Did y'all hear that? Winsome personality? The number one thing that I found about Dave is he has that feeling of passion. Can everybody say passion?
Passion.
Can everybody say, what was the other word?
What was the other word?
Conclusion. Don't jump to conclusion. Your perception. She was not paying attention. That's why Toastmasters oftentimes don't become distinguished Toastmaster. Dave is well on his way to become a Toastmaster. The most important part I found in his presentation, number 1, was the opening of the way. How many of you know your way to the DTM, to the top? That's exactly what he read today. The way is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. And his closure, he asked you, what is your passion? Don't tap out on your dream, is what he told you. If you've got an idea or a dream or something that's in your heart, mind, and body from the 2-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, don't quit, is what he said. He said, fulfill your passion with a winsome personality. Did y'all catch that? Number 2, what was his number 2 point? Watch the thief. Guess what? Most often, we are the thief and don't even realize it. Our perception, am I right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Who is going to take away your DTM? Who? You. You are the one that will steal your DTM. You're going to look at Dave and say, Dave, you stole my DTM. No, he received it first, right? Look at what he did. Each step, she was not paying attention. Just like some people you know, I didn't say you, some people you know are not paying attention. Their perception is, you stole everything in my life. No, you gave it to them, right? Who stole your passion? Who stole your conclusion? Who stole your conclusion? You stole your conclusion. Dave, I want to tell you something. I've heard Dave do several of the interpretive reading. He is one of the most expressive individuals you'll find. You can see exactly what happened. When she was reaching her hand over there, was she paying attention? What was her perception? She didn't see anything, didn't hear anything, until she started looking for her own personal items. And he said, oh my gosh, oh, who stole my? And then when she stopped to look, the reality, what happened when reality came to her? I am the thief, Mr. Toastmaster. With a passion and conclusion, I am the thief.
Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster. Professional day. Professional day. Excellent day.
Thank you. Our second speech was given by our distinguished Toastmaster Joyce Biddle, the professional seminar. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Lucy. Thank you.
I'm more nervous about being an evaluator than I am about speaking, so I jumped right in, and I'm going to use this because I don't think I can do it. Yeah. I saw her giving good eye contact in the beginning, and she passed out the handouts, which helped me feel involved, and I'd look at that and have a better picture of what was happening with the program. Great PowerPoint slides, which are, I'm a real visual person, so that helped me understand more about, because I already know about this project, but I knew more about it, especially seeing the slides and hearing her. What did I hear? The whole, I'm not going to give her the whole speech again. I don't know. Okay. All right. So she kept our attention. She used hand gestures. The survey and PowerPoint helped. Asking a question, one that I wouldn't have thought of to say is, who wants to know what a runner is? I thought that was good because maybe we weren't engaged enough at that time, and that made, I raised my hand on that, so that was good. The one thing I thought that I might have done is in the beginning I might have asked to get us engaged at the very beginning with a question would be to say, who's had your blood pressure checked recently, or some of those things that the program was doing, because it is all important, and many people don't get those things done very often, and especially probably, people going on Greyhound bus and whatever. Those who don't work at the health department, we all do well. And answering questions at the end. Everybody seemed interested and had listened, and so I think we were all well engaged. And
Thank you very much, Master Lucy. Thank you. The theme of today's meeting was Think on your feet, and boy, we did.
Not on your seat.
I welcome down Toastmaster Charlie, who really thought and ran on his feet. go and run on his feet.
All right.
Toastmaster Charlie.
Was I also the all counter, or did we have someone?
You are.
No, he's the all count.
All right. I kind of took on your role, but I will eliminate all my aha counting moments. So for the grammarian report is to provide an evaluation on the use of the English language and how well we did with the word evaluation. So for our guest, this is an extremely important portion of the meeting, and that is really to be able to improve how we're speaking, pronouncing, and enunciating words. We had a very good use of a few words. Bam! Go get that DTM. Bam! And what's interesting is using words like that really get your audience involved in using bam. It's all right if you're using the right. Think on your feet and not your seat. I had to ask, did you come up with that one, or is that one you've heard?
I've heard it.
You've heard it? Okay. I put it titled under your name, so I'll make sure I quote, think on your feet and not your seat. Dave's use of echoing in my voice. What's interesting about that sentence structure is just instead of saying my voice or saying something in my voice, being able to let the audience really capture the picture of your words, being able to use echoing was a really good sentence structure. I'm going to leave the ahas to you. Our district director, who was the district? McClellan? Mary? Is that her? She spoke last week on the importance of why she's still coming to Toastmaster after 20-something years. And she mentioned it's to keep her grounded on pronouncing words clearly. She gave a couple of examples of them instead of them. What was the other one she used? You remember? Gona, the southern language, instead of to.
And fur, it's not no such thing as fur. It's not wintertime. It's F-O-R.
But in the south is really the and them and em instead of
Them.
yeah.
Instead of them.
We really have to be mindful of that grammar as well whenever we get ready to speak.
All of us, not all of us. It's all of us.
Instead of what?
All of us, not y'all. It's all
Y'all. That's another one. What was the one is that the one you always talked about? Y'all? Y'all? You all? Be mindful of that moving forward. All right.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Charlie. This was a winsome meeting, and we had joy in this meeting. I think because of that, I would give you a discount for the ahas moments. We just had a few saws, I believe a forced bat, and things like that. All in all, there's some improvement and some stability with the AHA counter. That's why we have to continue coming to these meetings. I'll roll into general evaluation. This was a good meeting. Before I do that, I think I need to know how we did on time. Toastmaster Antoinette.
No time disqualification. You are doing well. Continue with your timing. But most of all, sign up. You got to sign up. You got to feed me in the CC coming up.
Thank you very much. What else can I say? A joyful meeting. I want to hand this over to our Toastmaster of the day and whisper in her ear that we have a visitor today. I brought down a visitor. Yes. He may have a word or so.
Whose pen is this? It's quite obvious we have a visitor. I know who all our members are. All right. We have a visitor with this young man right here. Would you stand and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Sean Hurts. I'm a student intern with the city of Little Rock here. So we'll be spending the next couple of weeks working with the Department of Health.
Okay, for those of you who are late, and several of you were late. We need to be on time. We need to be on time. The meeting starts at noon, not 12:05, not 12:10. It starts at 12 o'clock. I hate to fuss. But, anyway, next week, we need to have our officers' installation. A couple of our officers I know will not be here. Now, one of the things I want to announce to you guys is Patricia Minor, who is going to be our secretary next year. She lost her dad last week. And so she will not be here for the installation. What I would like for us as a club to do is to get a card and maybe a small plant. The services will be this Saturday. If you all would like to do that, I would like a show of hands of yes. Because you know I'm a treasurer, I can take care of that. And y'all can, if y'all want to contribute something, let me know.
I was gonna say, it looks like a lot of people like gift cards instead of points. Like, we take up a collection, a gift card to Kroger or Walmart or something.
Well, if y'all want to do that, we can do whatever y'all want to do. So what do y'all think about the gift card? Everybody think about the gift card, just raise your hand. Okay, so we want to take up a collection. Y'all can just bring me some, whatever you feel like giving, and I'll go get, whatever we collect, I'll get a gift card with that. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
So you're going to do that today?
Yes, today. Because she's going to be in the office this week, but after the services, she'll be out. Okay? The other thing is, I'm saying the installation of officers will be next week. Those new members who were not inducted when we had the induction on the May 30th, we will induct you next week as well. So we will only, I think we'll only have one speaker, so do I have a volunteer? New members, you all need to start your icebreakers.
Jerome or Sean? Miss Lucy could. Miss Lucy could.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. The icebreakers are shorter, so I can do 2 icebreakers. Jerome and Lucy have volunteered. Okay. I will send out the assignment sheet tomorrow, not today, because I got other things to do. All right. Victoria, you need to come pick your stuff up with me. All right. What else? Officers. The officers that are here. The district training has been scheduled. It is July. Do you remember when it is?
July 20th and August 5th. That's training.
Okay.
Thursday night, July the 20th is the first one, and they're 2 separate entities, although you can go to both of them.
You can go to both of them, but you just need to be at one of them.
You need to both of them. You can go to either, but you need both. Right.
And members are welcome, all members are welcome.
All members are welcome to the officers training. It's good learning experience, but officers, please be there. We need to have at least 4 officers there. It counts toward the DCP program. Yes, ma'am.
Where's the time and location of both of those events?
There is the officers training is at Southwest Power Pool. No, they're both at Southwest Power Pool.
Well, can there be an email sent out about the times and everything about this? Because I think some folks might want to come, and I don't
Well, I can forward the email because I have it.
because I don't know if folks know the address and all that stuff. So.
I mean, I can send it out if people are interested. Okay. I think that's all. Oh, the district conference is going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas, November 10th and 11th, if anybody's interested in going.
I'll be there.
The price goes up July something or other. You can go out to the district website and sign up if you want to go. Currently, the price is $100. It will go up to $120 July 20th, I think. No, I'm sorry.
You get a discount if you sign up before July the 1st or July the 15th. That's the key. You get a discount if you sign up early. If you sign up late, it goes up to 120, 140. That's why you get a discount to sign up early.
Now, one of the things we can do, of course, you won't get your food. You won't be part of the banquet and the luncheon and all that stuff. One of the things we can do, we can go as a club. If 10 club members want to go, we can pay for 10 club members for $100.
Total.
Total.
So if we had, it's $10 each.
Right.
That's $10 each.
Suppose 8 want to go.
Well, if 8 want to go, you can just split up the 8 can split up the $100.
Okay. Who would like to go? Yeah. It's what day is it again?
It's November 10th and 11th. It is the only weekend, this is what I was told, it's the only weekend the Razorbacks are not playing.
Training, they'll have an afternoon training like from 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll have 3 or 4 different sections training that will help you see why Toastmasters is important. Then on Friday night, they'll have the evaluation contest, is that right?
Right. Friday night's the evaluation contest. Saturday night is the humorous speech contest.
The speech contest is Saturday night at 6 o'clock, and they'll have a meal. The registration is the $10 each now, here and now. And if you wait, you have to buy your food. The food is optional for you. You can go out to eat, or you can eat the meals there. That's optional. That's something you can also look at on the.
If you paid $100, that would include paying for the banquet and then the luncheon.
And I think one thing about these are really good, you can connect with other people, because we have 3 different states that are part of our district, and I think it's Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, is that right?
Right.
So it's great to meet other people that really good speakers. I met a couple of world champions of public speaking at this event. Craig Valentine had Kate, they're fantastic. I don't know who's going to be there at this event. But it's really good, not just about how great Toastmasters is. I mean, it's a lot about specific tools that you can use to pick up and walk out of the room and better communicate. So I think they're great. I've been to a couple.
I've been to every one since I was president of the
I'm
club.
always here. A lot of times you have to drive to Tennessee. So this is in Fayetteville, November 10th and 11th. Do we know where hotel it's at? Or? Yes.
Actually, I do, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Gretchen Garden in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Gretchen
Okay.
Garden, we've been there.
But I will forward you all the information on all of that. Okay. Now, anybody that want to contribute to the gift card, come see me. And meeting adjourned.
Great job.